3, 2, 1. Apparently that is Parsifal's call. Oh my goodness. Hey guys, so last week when I posted my animation, if you saw the video that I put a little story to and everything, I said I wanted to talk about something. And it was something really specific that I still want to talk about. I wanted to address something though. I've talked about Kingdom Hearts before on my channel a long time ago, and yes, I am still an avid Kingdom Hearts fan. And Kingdom Hearts 4 was announced at the KH20 celebration thing. So, the event was in Japan. And the time that the event was taking place in Japan meant that it was going on at like 7 or 8 a.m. my time. So first thing in the morning, all I wanted to do was work on a project that I had started working on the day prior. So I sat down, set everything up, and while my PC was loading whatever it was I needed it to load, I was scrolling through Instagram, and I saw it. I watched all the trailers that were announced at the time. It was the mobile game, the Union Cross Dark Road announcement trailer, or whatever that was. And then the last one I saw was the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer. And I don't want to go on too long about this because there's not a whole lot that I want to say. But I will say this. One, I am excited because holy cow, does it look so amazing. Oh my god. Holy cow, I was sitting there watching this trailer, crying. I was screaming at Bradley in the other room. I paused it so many times throughout. And one of the first things when Sora, spoilers by the way, if you haven't seen the trailer yet, when Sora first appeared on the screen, I literally screamed, "They aged him up!" Because no joke, he really does look older in this new style that they're doing. But it is confirmed by the person who's talking, which I think was Starlezia, if that's how you say the name, and if that's who that was. I don't play the mobile games. I don't have any desire to. So I don't know if that was who that was. I've heard a lot of people saying that that's who that was. So let's roll with it. But she said he was only asleep for 7 days. So why he looks so much older, I guess it's just the different style. The trailer was rendered on Unreal Engine 4, or rendered, is that the right word? It's the gameplay and everything that was shown in the trailer was from Unreal Engine 4, but apparently it has been confirmed that Kingdom Hearts 4 will be run on Unreal Engine 5. So, it already looks so good, and with the extra power of the next level up Unreal Engine 5, I'm really excited to see what they're gonna do. I am hopeful that this is a whole new arc, that things are going to be great. I'm really hopeful. The thing I'm hesitant about, and this is going to be the last thing I'm going to say about this, the only thing I'm hesitant about is that a lot of people are saying that they're finding details that since Disney owns Star Wars and Marvel, that's what we're getting in Kingdom Hearts 4. While it would make sense since Quadratum takes place in unreality, which is basically reality, and technically the Marvel Universe is a part of reality, just with superheroes and some time travel and whatever the crap that multiverse wants to claim it is. I hate Marvel with a passion. Yes, I'm saying that. Yes, I'm leaving that in, and you guys are going to have to deal with that. And then Star Wars is, in a galaxy far, far away, but still in reality. So it would make sense, but I don't want it. So I don't know. I'm excited. I'm hopeful. End of that rambling. So, I forgot to mention this in my last video that I showed it. So, I specifically wanted this in the background because it's literally some of my favorite pieces from my favorite artists that I follow on YouTube. I did want to make sure that I mentioned that this is not my stuff. This is by someone named Spectralite AAA on YouTube. They were originally Walking Melons AAA, if I remember correctly. That's no longer their username. I don't think they've updated in a while, but they used to do so much Undertale stuff, and that was how I found their channel. They're an extremely talented artist, and I fell in love with these pieces, and I edited them to get together and put them as my desktop. My other desktop has more of her pieces, more kind of like a collage kind of style though, but it's all Undertale and Glitch Tale, so because that's been the mood I'm in. Anyway, on to the topic that I wanted to talk about, and this is probably going to become a very, 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 very rambly video. And I'm going to try not to. I definitely am going to be posting some video blogs for the next few weeks. Let's hope I find plenty of topics to talk about because the animations are kind of coming to a stop for me. One, I was very much committing an extended amount of my time to my animations, and which, don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying it. I'm loving every second of it. But my body isn't liking it so much. I ended up getting this desk chair because of the problems I've been having with my back. This isn't what you guys want to hear about, but both my shoulders and my hips are always out of alignment. I've been seeing a chiropractor regularly, and it's still not. It's just, it gets bad, and then it gets good again, and then it gets bad again. It's exhausting when you're in pain, and it makes something a lot less enjoyable. So there was that factor, and of course there was the burnout because I was committing so much time to it. And the way my mind works, it's like I like to cycle from one thing to the next and then back, and I haven't been able to do that lately because my attention has been divided with Parzival and everything, and I'm not blaming him. It's just been a lot for me, and the animations I'm still working on. Like, I'm just going to work more slowly and on smaller time increments because of the situation I'm in right now. But it was just kind of becoming a burnout thing. I was doing it every day for extended periods of time. But here's another reason they're kind of coming to a stop. I decided to start looking into other free animation programs. So, I had mentioned in my previous video that I was working with Source Filmmaker and Blender. I hate Blender with a passion already. And it's kind of funny because I literally had my PC built just to run Blender. And I don't want anything to do with it. It's so unuser-friendly, and it fights with me, I swear, every time I open that program that I just don't want to anymore, and it's so discouraging. But I'm still enjoying SFM. SFM is clunky to say the least, which is fine. I found another free animation program, a 3D animation program, Miku Miku Dance. Decided to look into that, and I think Miku Miku Dance looks better than SFM. So I wanted to try it out. So my thing now, that since I wanted to play around with Miku Miku Dance, I put SFM on hold. I already know how to do SFM. I already know how to animate in general. So when I went into Miku Miku Dance, I started looking up tutorials to see how the user interface is different. Well, there's no videos on how the user interface is different. They're literally all just 30-minute to hour-long videos about animation basics. I already know the basics. Just tell me how to use this program. And that's one of the things that really ticks me off about Blender too. Like, these video tutorials about Blender are all over an hour long. That is a lot of information to take in. Whenever I was learning SFM, I found a channel called Cinematic Productions, and I think now they changed their name to Cinema Films. Their videos are normally between 10 to 15 minutes long because their tutorials are very SFM specific. Now, they do have some videos on the basics of animation, but they have the basics of animation in the motion editor. They have the basics of animation in the graph editor. They have walk cycles, run cycles, lighting. These are all separate tutorials. That's what I need. I cannot take in an hour to an hour and a half worth of information, especially when they're repeating information that I already know, like when I migrated to Miku Miku Dance. Don't get me wrong, I'm not bashing on these people who are making these tutorials because where would a lot of these animators be without them? It's just, that's where I'm at. Also, where I'm at This is going to be kind of a shock, because it was quite a shock to me, too. I've been mentioning Glitchtail a couple of times. My previous animation is actually a reanimation of a Glitchtail scene. I started following really closely to the creator of Glitchtail, Camilla. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, and I'm not even going to try her last name, because I'm not sure if I really know how to pronounce it. But Camilla, or Camila, I don't know how you say it. I normally say Camilla. Correct me if I'm wrong, okay? I've been following her more closely because another Glitchtail series is in the works, and she streams her work process on Twitch. So I'm following that, and it's really fun just sitting there listening to her music, talking with the chat. Sometimes I turn it on and just steal her playlist to work on my own projects. But in the midst of watching her work on 2D animation, I decided to try it myself. I have always been passionate about 3D animation because take the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, for example. Look at the texture and the detail on Sora, on that model. Now, I understand you can capture texture and stuff like that in 2D animation, but the 3D style is always the stuff that I love to see. But I've always leaned more towards 3D animation. Why I suddenly decided to try 2D? I blame Camilla. I really do. But I decided to do it, and I really enjoyed it. I used to tell myself that I could never be a 2D animator because I'm not an artist. As you've seen previously on my channel, a long time ago, I actually shared some of my pieces on a video talking about, when I was redrawing scenes from the 7 Deadly Sins. I have a couple more pieces that I was working on over the weekend when all this started. So I was getting back into my artistic side, so I put it towards animation. So I went online and I just looked up free 2D animation programs. Now I know I shouldn't be stingy and just want free programs, but free programs are a really great jumping off point. And honestly, the program that I picked seems extremely user-friendly, even though when I go and look at people's tutorials, they say how un-user-friendly it is. I don't see it, but maybe it's because I don't have another 2D animation program that I compare it to. I decided to download OpenToons, which is apparently an open source version of a 2D animation program called Toons, with a Z. Toons, I found out, was the animation program that was used to animate movies like Anastasia, Balto, Princess Mononoke, and Spirited Away. What? Excuse me? What? I mean, you can see that the program can do what you need it to do. You just gotta learn how to do it. There are a couple of things that have me a little bit confused, and again, when I go looking for tutorials, these tutorials aren't really that long. I found a channel that all their tutorials are between 10 to 15 minutes long, which is really great. But since it was recently updated back in 2021, their tutorials, they're still going. So there's information that I need that they don't have there. Again, not bashing them. There's nothing wrong with their tutorials. It's just this is where I'm at. I have ideas that I want to animate in 2D. I'm just not sure how long it's going to take me to get there. Again, my body hurts from doing all this. The 2D animation requiring so much drawing is actually hurting me a little bit more because I have a bad habit of whenever I'm trying to do fine details, I'm leaning real far into my computer screen. That's another thing. Oh my god. Okay, that's another thing. My eyes. My eyes were already super bad. I'm not wearing my contacts right now, actually. I just didn't want to wear my glasses. My glasses give me headaches right now, and I am going to get this checked out, but I just haven't gotten around to it. But also, sitting at a computer for extended periods of time, I need to get myself a pair of blue light cancellation lenses because my eyes are tired all the time. I am just dealing with so much right now. The animations are not going to stop, but they're stopping temporarily. Like I said, I have projects in the works. I was thinking about the previous animation that I have posted. I was thinking about reanimating that again in Miku Miku Dance because, like I said, I think it looks better. Miku Miku Dance is a little bit weird as far as... How do I explain this? As far as their stages or their maps, I guess you could say. Well, that's just it. They're not maps, they're stages because it's supposed to be used for music videos. So they're stages. They're smaller because the models aren't supposed to be running around having a big fight scene. But there are Miku Miku Dance animators that I've seen do amazing Undertale battles in Miku Miku Dance. So, like, one day I will get to that point. But, like, SFM has full maps, except when they don't. I'm gonna make another video about that sometime, but just not right now. But SFM is all about maps, the maps from the games, so you have a vast area to work with. Miku Miku Dance is stages, they're smaller, and it makes the camera work a little bit weirder. On that topic, though, I wanted to vent about Blender, okay? So, I had mentioned that OpenTunes is, in my opinion, pretty user-friendly. But I feel like that is a huge barrier when it comes to people wanting to learn animation, is how unuser-friendly some of these programs are. MMD is one of those. Blender is one of those. Like, I understand that Blender is definitely a more advanced program with the model building and everything in there. I get that, but it's so frustrating because I think it's extremely frustrating for myself, specifically because I started with SFM, and in my opinion, SFM is so user-friendly. Like, everything makes sense once you get the rundown. Like, really. And Source actually has it's a long freaking tutorial, a long playlist of multiple tutorials to give you a rundown of everything you can work with in SFM. And, like I mentioned, there's Cinema Films that has their tutorials online as well. Once you get the rundown, it is so easy. Now, sometimes, yes, the program fights with you. I've fought with SFM many times. Like, this animation, I was trying to clean it up for over an hour yesterday because the model broke for some stupid reason. I was like, why is this piece moving the way that it is? And I don't remember how I fixed it, but I did end up fixing it after an hour of tweaking with it. Now, don't get me wrong, just because I say it's user-friendly does not mean it's without flaws. But, in my opinion, I feel like SFM gets you through it so much better than Miku Miku Dance. MMD is still somewhat user-friendly, but my biggest issue with it is the camera. Now, the camera is set up exactly the same as Blender. Now, I prefer the camera work in SFM. It just makes a heck of a lot more sense to me. Again, I might be biased because that's where I started, so I have a better understanding of it. Also, though, in SFM, moving the bones and the joints on the rigs and the models is not relative to camera. In both MMD and Blender, it is. So if you can't work the camera, what do you do? Now, Miku Miku Dance is still a lot more user-friendly, in my opinion, in comparison to Blender, because even though the movements are relative to camera, you have the options of the set axes you want to work with. Now, you have to use your mouse a little bit more to do it this way, but I've noticed that it works fine for me because it's not relative to camera. It moves in the direction that I wish for it to move. Blender, as far as I'm aware, maybe I missed something. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think I missed something, but I thought that that was not an option. And then OpenTunes is 2D, which makes the camera work a little bit weird for me. I'm not entirely sure how to work a camera in a 2D environment. I'm going to find out, obviously, but until then. So I guess that was the main thing that I wanted to talk about, was that I'm learning multiple programs at the same time, which is a lot. So the animations are probably going to be paused for a little bit. Unless I can make something I'm relatively proud of in OpenTunes, I don't think I'm going to be posting another animation for a little bit. But who knows? I might get going again. But since I'm learning multiple programs, I also wanted to talk about how unuser-friendly some of these are. Because, like I said, I feel like that's a barrier that a lot of animators are going to have to cross. It's a barrier for animators to get across, and it can be really discouraging, like what happened with me in Blender. I would still love to learn Blender, but I don't know. I just wish animation programs could be relatively user-friendly, so that way people have a good experience going into it. Now, if you have a more advanced animation program and like you're getting into nitty-gritty stuff, yeah, it makes sense that it would have a much more complex user interface. But if it's an open source one that's just free, one that people are going to download just to test out their animation skills, I personally think that it should be relatively user-friendly to use. But that's just me. So maybe I'm gonna do more animation, but I'm not gonna make any promises. I don't know what you're gonna get next week. It'll probably be another video blog. Bradley and I are going to WizCon again, which actually it changed its name. It's Fan Expo now. Bradley and I are gonna go to WizCon again, and I might video blog. But I am also cosplaying with one of my friends. So I don't know if they're gonna want to be filmed the entire time anyway. I'm gonna talk to them before I do. I don't know if I'm gonna want to vlog because Bradley and I haven't been to this convention in over 2 years now, and I've missed it. So I don't know if I really want to carry around a camera. I don't know. We're gonna see. Genuinely, thank you guys for watching. On that topic of people who watched it, when I posted a short of my first animation, it broke 1,000 views. I did gain some new followers because of that. Or subscribers. I did gain some new subscribers because of that. Hello, welcome. This is my face. You probably went back on my other videos and saw my face already, but hey, I get to say hello to you. Thank you guys all for watching the video. I ended up fixing up my description because I am completely inactive on Facebook, on Twitter. I mean, if my Tumblr's still active, I don't even know. I am inactive. This is going to be my #1 way of communicating, or even, I think that, there's a community tab on YouTube. You can always check out there if I have something to say, if I even use it. Or I'm just going to post a video about it. The link to subscribe will be in the description below, as will the link to my previous video. You guys can go check those out, and thank you guys again for watching. Bye, guys. So, links to subscribe. So the link to why can I not say this?